The mountains of Ebal and Gerizim represent the blessings and cursings of God's covenant. That if you are faithful, he will bless you. But if you are disobedient, you will be cursed amongst all men. As we looked at last week, the cursed man Ai, the king of Ai, was hung on a tree, cursed. And as I pointed to Christ last week, Christ himself was on a tree for us, bearing a curse and a greater curse for us because he was the only true innocent man to ever bear such a penalty. This week, we now see this further in this covenant renewal ceremony, that they are dedicating their nation in such a way that they are remembering that God has promised them goodness if they are faithful, but absolute destruction if they are not. We'll see further, if you read through the history of Israel, that their lack of faithfulness leads to a divided nation, leads to the destruction of Jerusalem not once but multiple times. And why is that? Because of their pursuing foreign gods, pagan gods. Go read Jeremiah and read about how he warned them that if they pass their children through the fire like the pagans do, if they worship Molech like the pagans do, that their nation will be destroyed, that Jerusalem will fall. And friends, that's precisely what happened. But at this point in the story, at this point in the history, they are initiating and re-covenanting with God that we are going to set our nation, the nation of Israel, up as a God-fearing, law-abiding nation. And as we'll see later in the sermon, friends, what happens when the people abandon their covenant? Nations fall. I'm going to make a distinction between the covenant between the nation of Israel and God and the covenants that exist between the modern day nations. They're not the same, one and truly. But nevertheless, God still has covenant morally with his people of many nations today. And do we think that judgment is far from those who would disobey his law? Absolutely not. But further, the gospel in this portion this morning is that we see that the cross of Christ is the intersection of Gerizim and Ebal, where the justice of God and the mercy of God meet. Just as the Israelites were called to remember the law and renew covenant with God, so now Christians are called to remember God's covenant love each Lord's Day.